Hello everyone, we're back here again with you. It's Sophie, your sexy farmer. I hope you guys are doing alright. I hope you guys are faring well with the weather and all that. Luckily for us and unfortunately for some farmers, the rain is still here. Like it's still drizzling, like it's trying to establish fully for the second time. Unfortunately for those farmers who do this late season farming, like because of the crops, the factors, the needs of the particular crop, let's say sesame, melon, and most of others. My heartfelt sympathies to you, especially with this flood that's all over. There's been so much talk about the flood. So many people have been making a lot of comments, observations, recommendations here and here. And some people have even been saying, is it that they were not there was no forecast, were these farmers not being told, was there no awareness and all that. Believe me, some of all these things are just in place, but the truth of the whole issue is that does the right information actually gets to this farmer? That's where our Agric extension agents come in place. Okay, in those days when we were still being taught on Agric extension service delivery and all that, we're told that there are some areas where you want to go for data collection and all that. When you don't get radio service, radio connection, just know that that place is inhabitable. So, in as much as some people want to say the farmers didn't get all the publicity and they didn't get the awareness, they didn't get the information, that after all there were some radio channels that were on this, there were jingles, there were announcements and all that. What if some of these farmers don't have radio? Yeah, you say, okay, that's the list that some of these farmers should process. Okay, what if they even heard the information and they were not even able to process it properly? They couldn't even use it, apply it. So you see, regardless of how technology is trying to simplify a lot of things, there are some certain nitty-gritty actors that cannot be taken away, that you can't just improvise them. They are just irreplaceable, and these actors are the Agric extension agents. There's so much talk now. If you are on LinkedIn, you see there's a lot of conversation around infrastructure development, rural development. In fact, let me say field players, field workers, people who are on the field, who go to the farmers, they are just like a connectivity between the farmers, the institutions, the policy makers, the aides who will bring intervention agents and all that, markets. These people, they have been able to work with all these players. Like, they are now trying to tell us that the bulk of the whole problem, the reason why with all that has been invested in agriculture and farmers are still living in a poverty cycle is because of the lack of infrastructure. And I, for one, I want to believe them, because I've gone through it, I've thought around it, I've seen it. Like, I have 10 years experience in agriculture. So I'm now saying that, okay, these policymakers, these aides, most of them don't even know the routes to these rural settings. They don't even know what the farmers look like. They don't even know where the farmer sleeps, where he wakes up from, what is like, what he likes, what he does, how his farm setting looks like. Whether there are accessible rural, there's electricity, whether there's water, whether there's even primary health centers there. The people who have this first-hand information, first-hand experience, who are the frontliners, are Agric extension agents. So why can't we, let's invest in them. These are the people that you get feedback. There's a policy at the top. They take it to the grassroots level and they bring feedback. They are able to see some observations. There was a time we went to do a project in a particular area. The perception we had when we were going there was different. Like, these people, what they need is training on this or training on that. By the time we got to the locality, we realized that the male farmers who actually brought intervention, they were actually doing very well. The people we needed to intervene with, their wives, their significant others. And that's how the project changed. And we started training the women. This is what extension agents are doing. This is why there has to be more of them. And that's what we were trying to do at Sophie Farms, to train more extension agents. let's have more of them. So that we'll find out that, okay, all these policies, no matter how we do these conversations, bring out these policies, at the end of the day, if they are not being properly implemented, if it doesn't get to the beneficiaries, the agrarian communities, the farmers, it's just like one is pouring water on stone. And there's another aspect again, the middlemen. We are trying to train our farmers to know how to negotiate with middlemen and cut them off. These middlemen, they are leeching on our farmers. Well, I'm not going to discuss that topic. That's going to be left for another, because that's a very sensitive issue. Some people will be like, a little bit of them, like, okay, if you want to take away the place of middlemen, that means some people will be jobless. Who says that? Why can't those middlemen become extension agents? Why? Why can't they become extension agents where they are being properly used? They give optimum commitment to society, to the farmers, and the country at large. So it's a very sensitive topic. We've been on it all this while. Everybody's talking. There are so many conversations. At the end of the day, it's not going to be all talk if we don't do the work. That's the fact. So I'm going to stop here today and continue some other time. We keep talking. Keep tuning to my channel. It's Sophie, your sexy farmer. Ciao. And once again, before I leave you, all the farmers who lost their life trying to redeem their crops in Taraba, my sympathies, my condolences with you and your family. All the flood victims, may the Almighty grant you all solace and